Okay, we're continuing on slide 33. We had another breakout of something new, and that was music TV, or MTV as it was called. It debuted in 1981. But I do want to tell you something historically. The first person to ever be credited with having done a, um, a music video on television was Ricky Nelson on his show Ozzie and Harriet. It was his parents, Ozzie and Harriet, and at the Ozzie was brilliant, and he had a great idea because his son was starting to get popular on our old 45s, those records we had. He said, well, why don't we use some of the time of our show? We can shorten the show and we can put him on at the end and give him 4 to 5 minutes at the end. And that's what they did. That's how they ended every show, was with a music video by Ricky Nelson singing his latest song. It was very popular. So it was a new frenetically paced style of television advertising which tried to emulate the music videos that young people were coming to expect. This was not on forever. I think it died out in 92 or 93, but it really was very popular while it was on. 1993 brought us the internet, or brought the internet to 5 million people. Um, Not a huge portion of the United States, but it was enough to get it started. Within about 3 years, we had reached close to saturation level of the internet. It changed the way ads were delivered yet again. Ads pop up, pop under, and become a general nuisance to most computer users, and you still are probably annoyed by them, but we have these um, devices that we can, or apps that we can put on our computer to block, ad blockers, that sort of thing. Special software programs are written to help eliminate unwanted ads from the computer screen. So just as something comes out to get your attention, something else comes out in realization that you really don't want to see all those ads. And you are seeing about 3,000 ads a day. Believe it or not, you've just gotten very good at ignoring them. In 1999, regulation was placed on internet advertising. Billings for internet advertising neared the $3 billion with a B dollar mark. And you know which company moved to standardize all internet advertising? Procter and Gamble. Procter and Gamble started out as a soap company, and I don't know how many types of businesses it has under its control today, but it's a huge conglomerate. And with the new millennium, advertising product placement has become quite common. It was really being done a long time ago, before most people got wind of it. Back in the 30s, even earlier than that, people were putting. I saw something Charlie Chaplin did in in a garage, a commercial garage, and there was an ad on the wall for a tire company. I think it was for Goodyear. Next time you buy a movie ticket or tune in to a commercial television program, watch your favorite stars and see what they are wearing, drinking, eating, and driving. It is all over. It is all over the advertising. It's the shows are advertising, and they call that product placement. You would watch an old Seinfeld, and if you came into Seinfeld's apartment, you'd see a Schwinn bike hanging on the wall. You'd see his Apple computer sitting there. You'd see name brand uh, breakfast cereals. You'd see a box of Rice Krispies or a box of Frosted Flakes. And, you know, It takes a lot of money to produce these shows, so not only do they need the advertising that is during the breaks, they need people to be paying them to show their products. And we see that in movies too. Keep your eyes open. Well, we'll go back to this. This is um, the one above where, oh gosh, what is that? That movie, Forrest Gump. You know, he's taking out opening up a box of Nikes that his wife is giving him. And then in the bottom, we see Tom Hanks again in a movie all about FedEx. That was a movie, it was called Castaways, all about it. Anyway, so more product placement, it's everywhere. What do we see? We see his drinks here. You see a drink machine in the back. They're inconspicuous. They're not supposed to be the most important thing in the viewfinder, but you don't miss it. You see it. And then other topics that we could get into, but we won't. Virtual placement, most commonly used at sporting events and on electronic billboards. Go to a drag race, go to a football game. There is advertising everywhere. If there's a fence, even Little League games, if there's a fence, there are signs that cover up the fence all the way around. People are advertising everywhere. Then we have crowdsourcing. We have niche marketing. I used to think that word was niche, and I did for a long time, and the most important people in my life said it was niche until my brother and I really got into it, and we discovered that it really was niche. At any rate, people who now say niche are trying to impress you, but it's really niche. Usage tracking, customer profiles, social networking sites. You, as a human being in this country, cannot go outside without being tracked by either well, we see this on forensic files. We see crimes being solved because of movie cameras outside, because of, everywhere you go, if you're on the internet, you're being tracked. So you really have lost all your privacy pretty much. And so as we end this thing, where did all of this really start? We were talking about 3000, the year 3000 BCE. Most modern advertising can essentially trace its roots to the invention of the Gutenberg printing press with movable type back in 1440, 1450, the mid 1400s. The rest of it is almost a natural evolutionary process. If a new medium is created, very shortly there will be advertising on it. If it's a way to get information and entertainment to you, it will be a way to get advertising to you as well. With new inventions come new ways to advertise. So the next time you sit down with that paper, realize that it was print advertising that revolutionized the way things are done. And people have always wanted to promote themselves. Like I said, we had kings who put special pictures and names and hieroglyphics on their temples to let you know that's their temple. And as long as there has been a human ego, there has been advertising. Okay, that's the end of advertising.